Hello! Today we're talking about foam rolling, or in other words, SMR, self-myofascial release. And that sounds so sciencey, but it's pretty cool stuff. So this little cylinder of pain and torture will actually help you feel better in a while. Because what you do is you basically rub this against you. And until you find a spot that really hurts badly, and then you hold it on that spot for about 30 to 90 seconds. So yeah, sounds really fun. And if you've never foam rolled before, I promise you it is worse than it sounds too. But basically what this is a big old tube. And you sit on it, you lay on it, you put a muscle group that's tight on it, and you roll on it like I just said. What it does, however, is the important part. So it can not only release muscle tension. So if you're sore someplace or you have muscle imbalances, like you're an athlete and you're just tired and sore from your constant workouts, or you're not an athlete, you just go to the gym a lot and you're tired and sore, or you don't do anything and you're tired and sore because you're sitting in this position all day long. So foam rolling out certain muscle groups can help lengthen those muscles back out again, and it's called length tension relationship. Helps put your muscles where they're supposed to be versus where they might be now because of being either overworked or underworked. So they can help reduce soreness in the long run. They can also help increase your flexibility, both short term and potentially long term. So if you're tight from an activity, or you need to do something like, say you want to go running, but your hip flexors right here are hurting and they're really tight because you've run too much, then foam rolling before you run can help lengthen your hip flexors back out so that your run is more comfortable. So in the short term, they can help lengthen those muscles, but also in the long run help increase range of motion. If you have lack of flexibility through your hips, which is very important to have, or through your shoulders or back, foam rolling can help increase that long-term flexibility as well. So lots of good things about it. So let's just get right into the nitty-gritty. Oh, this is going to be lower body part 1. We will do upper body part 2 on a different day. So all right, the first one we're going to do is the calves. This one's one of my least favorite ones. So if you've never done this before, you might not realize how tight your calves all the way down to your Achilles are. And that's, if you run, especially tight. If you do a lot of walking or hiking, they're going to be tight. But if you walk around in heels, they're going to be tight. If you sit at your desk all day, they're going to be tight. Generally, our calves are just tight. So, tight, like a tiger. All right, so if you're new at this, I would start with both at the same time, because it's going to be a lot of pressure to go one at a time. So with any muscle group with foam rolling, you're just going to start, you're going to lift that booty off the ground, and you're going to go very slowly down. And usually about the base of that calf or the gastrocnemius, you'll feel some pain right there. Yeah. And you're just going to kind of hold it there and pulse it just a little bit. Because what that pain is your muscles, which are nice, long, fibery things, have come imbalanced and become tightened and have sort of formed this knot right there. So like when you're kneading, like rolling out dough, and you roll that shit out so it's nice and flat? That's what you're doing in your muscles right now. So you're kneading your muscles and you're lengthening them. And when you find that point that just feels great, you hold it there about 30 to 90 seconds, or until you kind of feel that pain start to go away. It's kind of like a release. So holding it, and then you're going to continue up. Scoot back a little bit. You're going to continue all the way up nice and slowly. If you find another one, hold it there. Hold it there. You're going all the way up to behind your knees. And then you're going to take it back. You're going to take it back. And if you feel those trigger points again, once more, you're going to hold it. The first time you do this, you're probably going to be holding it for quite a while. So, holding it there. Now, as that starts to feel better, like if you do that and you don't have any sort of pain, any discomfort whatsoever, then you will go one leg. You can start with one leg here. It's just a little bit more pressure. And then if you're just like a baller, limber badass, or you're a masochist and you really just want the pain to come, you cross your leg. So I don't suggest starting with this because it makes you hit puberty again, and that's not fun. Ooh, okay. So I need work on my foam rolling, but that's the calves. All right, the next one was why I'm in this awkward ass position is we're gonna go for the quads. So for the quads, again, I'm starting with both legs at the same time, and you're just gonna start from the hips or just below the hips, you know, guys, you don't want to get anything in there. And you're just gonna roll it forward. Now, I need to stay in shot. Now, this one's not as bad. This one's like, all right, sweet release after doing your calves. But, I mean, it could be really bad depending on who you are. Like right there, I felt a little something, something right there. So, you're going to hold it for 30 to 90 seconds or until you feel that release. And then just roll back up towards the base of the hips or right before you get to your junk. And back and forth. If there's no pain or no trigger points that you need out, I would say about 30 seconds back and forth for just maintenance. So, yeah. Make sure to keep your core tight while you're doing this too. You don't want to let a banana back up here while you're doing it. All right. So now we're getting really up close and personal with this bad boy. We are getting the TFL, that's coming up in the next one. Ignore that. We're doing the adductors. The adductors are the muscle that runs inside your legs right there. And it's a little awkward, yeah. So you're going to kind of put the foam roller at maybe like a 45-degree angle, and you're just going to lay over it. Just get that right down. All right, and from here, you're just going to let your leg rest on it. See, for me, even just resting, I feel that pressure right there. Then you're going to roll all the way to almost your little crotchular area. But don't go that far. But you'll feel it. You'll probably feel it. This one, again, super important if you're a runner because your adductors get very, very tight. Same with if you're relatively sedentary. Having tight adductors actually affects your glute strength, and having non-strong glutes is probably the worst thing. Weak glutes. But, so if you're sitting all day long, or you're a runner, or pretty much any activity where you're doing like one single motion on repeat that doesn't involve this muscle, is pretty ouchy. So make sure you get those adductors. It'll make you feel better. And one thing I didn't say is what you do to one side, do equally with the other. Even if you only have one side that's hurting, you always gotta, what you do with one side, do with the other. Set that timer, 30 to 90 seconds. Once you find that trigger point or that painful point, just pulse over it for about, another 30 to 90 seconds until you feel it kind of dissipate that pain. And we're back. But this time, we are for real doing the TFL, or the tensor fascial latte. All right, so not latte like coffee, but latte like Latte. Yeah, something like that. But now I really want coffee. All right, so this one, you're on your side. You're going to place your top leg on the floor in front, so you're already working your flexibility, maybe right here. And, hold it. And you want it on that part, that little notch right next to your hip. So not your hip bone, we're not foam rolling bone, but not before it goes here. So that little squishy part right on the side of your hip, or the TFL. And you're just basically pulsing back and forth right there. You can lean forward as you need to, lean backwards as you need to. You'll feel it, like, whoop, there it is, right here. That's where I feel it. And again, and then you're just sort of pulsing it. Remember, 30 to 90 seconds, and you will be doing this on both sides. So you're going to switch after a while, after that pain goes away. All right. I'm not gonna lie. This one's probably the most ouchy of the lower body that we're gonna do. And it is sometimes done in continuation with the TFL up here. So the TFL is up here and it turns into your IT band or your iliotibial band. And it runs all down the side of your leg. So I sometimes like to separate the two. A lot of people just do it all in one. They go from TFL down to IT band, back up to TFL, and that's totally fine too. I just don't like the feeling of rolling over my hip bone, so I tend to separate it. So for the IT band, you're going to start just below that hip right there. Oh God, it already pains me. It already pains me. Whew. You're going to start just below that hip, and you're going to roll up. So I have my foot on the ground because I do not want my full weight on this. You're going to go all the way down to just on the outside of the knee, not going past the knee, because again, you don't want to roll over bone, doesn't feel too comfortable. And then once you find that trigger point, try to relax, and hold it there. This one can get really, really tight, but this is also one that I feel like people abuse the foam roller to. They're like foam rolling their IT bands 7 days a week for 24 hours a day. That would be really awkward. But, you know, you don't need to over foam roll. It's a great thing. You don't need to do too much. My suggestion is if you're really, really tight, I'll get back in that minute, or can't concentrate. I've broken out into very, very sweaty right now just doing this. Now, if you don't feel it there, you can always stack your leg. Not doing that. You can always stack your leg on top of the other. And, enough of that. Yeah. I can't remember what I was saying because my brain just stopped working. But that is the IT band foam roll. As you can tell, it feels so good. Hi. Now we are going to foam roll the piriformis. So the piriformis is that muscle kind of on the top side of your glute right there. And the deal with the piriformis is that it too gets very, very tight, whether being hyperactive or inactive. Sitting, I say running a lot because running just really does a number on your lower body if you're not actually doing this kind of preventative maintenance on it. But a lot of times like heavy weightlifting, doing a lot of squats, doing stuff like that, certain muscle groups in your glutes can become overactive. They swell up. And the problem with your piriformis swelling up is you've got a bunch of nerves that run through your spine and out through your hips, behind your butt, and all the way down your leg. So if you guys ever have things like sciatica pain, that one that goes all the way down there to your toes, sometimes foam rolling your piriformis, if it's all knotted up in there, getting it nice and released can help. So you're gonna sit on that foam roller. You're gonna cross your right leg over your left, and you're gonna lean. Just make sure you're gonna lean over right there. So now you'll roll back and forth, and you'll feel it when you hit it. You'll feel it. You want to try to be, okay, so your first instinct when you hit that trigger point is to tense up really tight, because it's like, oh God, it hurts, because, well, guess what? Tensing up makes that muscle tight and prevents you from getting to that trigger point. So you need to just relax. And as much as that sucks, you got to do it. Got to relax and pulse over a little bit. All right, because you'll get that sweet, sweet tension after a while, but might take a little while. And remember, if you're brand new at this and you've never done this before, you actually will feel good immediately, but you might also be sore if you're not used to working these muscles these ways. So you got to give it time. You've got to have longevity with it. So finding those spots, repeat on the other side, both sides evenly, and there we go. There's your piriformis. All right, now that I have thoroughly tortured myself, that was your lower body foam rolling. I will do upper body foam rolling. I will post it next Tuesday. So please come back if you like this. Just like and subscribe, and I post hopefully new videos every week. And yeah, I will post the link in the description on where you can actually buy a foam roller. They're pretty cheap and really, really necessary, really good for you. As I've said, can decrease muscle soreness, can increase your range of motion. Decrease muscle imbalances, which happen if you sit all day long or you're at a desk. Sometimes you're, I'll get into upper body foam rolling, but sometimes it can give you this hunchback appearance. Foam rolling can help put you in that proper posture again, help reduce long-term pain, inflammation, and a lot of people said this helps reduce stress and anxiety as well because you just feel better. So pick up a foam roller and give those a try. And let me know if you have any other ones that you like to do in the description or in the comments. There you go. All right. Bye.